Marvel Studios is 30 plus films into the MCU and a bunch of TV series and many more coming. And some people believe that the end is gotta be near. But that's not what Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige says. And as he says, and I quote, "Even after 32 movies, it feels like we're barely scratching the surface with the MCU." End quote. So this isn't a giant article that Variety has on everything that's going on, and there's a lot of Marvel Studios stuff. So again, here's what Kevin Feige said, and I quote, "Even after 32 movies, it feels like we're barely scratching the surface with the MCU." End quote. So that right there should be pretty self-explanatory. The MCU isn't going anywhere. Now, obviously, I think some people believed, hey, Secret Wars, you're going to end and go away for a while, right? Sure, softish reboot style, right? Or take a small break and get back to it. But I don't think anybody truly believes that they were ever going to just stop making movies based on MCU characters or in the MCU. Like, why would you? Sony's still out there tossing out tons of other comic book films based on just the Spider-Man IP that they're holding on to. WB's out there, and they've been doing the same thing, tossing out comic book shows and movies for decades, based on smaller, less powerful characters, less popular characters, and the ones that are, major powers and, well, have a ton of buzz around them, right? So it does make sense. And at some point, you're going to see that the MCU is just kind of going to keep on going. The universe keeps moving on. They're going to keep finding ways to connect pieces. They're going to find ways to make it all matter. And the fact of the matter is, the MCU was built on largely unknown characters that could barely have an ongoing comic book that sells. So it makes sense that they're going to bring in other characters on that level and elevate them with crossovers and things and make them a little bit more viable and recognizable. So it's a business tactic. They're going to use it. Of course, Disney isn't going to want to give up on that type of bank that Marvel brings in. Even if there were no films, they could still make bank on just action figures, cartoons, and comics. So why would you abandon the actual films, which are driving merchandise force? It doesn't make sense. So, of course, they're going to be around for a while, and this belief that they're going to end or somehow their death is near, I don't see it. And let's just say all their movies start making like max of 500 million. That's still more than most movies these days. They could just reduce budgets. And somebody will say, okay, but they're going to start making 350 to 400 million. True. Then they'll just make films for 80 to 90 million. The old ways that Marvel used to do it. So it's always just going to get back to, it's a known brand, you got to keep making content on.